When the screen was still black and white, and Hollywood was a dream that had not yet been awakened by special effects, there were women who stepped onto the world's biggest stage with determined eyes, uncompromising talent, and an artistic spirit that felt like they were living their last. They were icons, images that were deeply imprinted in the hearts of millions of audiences, not only because of their beauty, but also because of their charisma. Today, we will go back in time, on a journey called Then and Now, to recreate, admire, and honor 5 famous female stars of Hollywood in the 50s to 60s: Barbara Stanwyck, Susan Hayward, Ingrid Bergman, Joan Fontaine, and Bette Davis. The Iron Lady of the Screen. Barbara Stanwyck was born in 1907 in Brooklyn. Her mother died at a young age, her father left, and she spent her childhood in orphanages and foster homes. It was this harsh environment that shaped Barbara into a strong, resilient person. Without formal acting training, she entered Hollywood with a cold beauty, determined eyes, and an unvarnished temperament. The role in Double Indemnity, 1944, brought Stanwyck to the top stars when she portrayed a scheming, independent, and dangerous woman, a character that strongly marked the noir genre. She is considered the pioneer of female villains who were attractive, strong, but complex, completely different from the stereotype of good women at that time. Although nominated for an Oscar 4 times but never won an official award, Barbara was still awarded an honorary Oscar by the Academy for her great contributions to the seventh art. From her retirement from film in the 1980s until her death in 1990, Barbara Stanwyck remained a symbol of a strong woman who lived her life to the fullest and never gave up on her destiny. She left behind a strong spiritual legacy for those who believe in inner strength and personal courage, a timeless role model for lovers of classic cinema. The Burning Rose and the Lonely. Susan Hayward was born in 1917 in Brooklyn and dreamed of becoming a model, but her life took a turn when she entered the film industry. Not choosing a gentle path, Susan stood out with thorny, emotional roles, the peak of which was Barbara Graham in I Want to Live, 1958, which helped her win an Oscar. In the film, Susan transformed into a woman facing a death sentence, bringing a haunting portrait of despair and a fierce survival instinct. Not afraid to take on characters with dark inner lives, Susan Hayward paved the way for the image of complex, strong but wounded women, far from the typical mobile vase role of that time. She not only acted, but also lived with the pain of the character. As one of the first actresses to bring the element of psychological darkness to her roles, she laid the foundation for films about independent and multidimensional women later on. Susan died in 1975 of brain cancer, suspected to have been caused by radiation exposure while filming in Nevada. Her passing was not only mourned, but also raised concerns about the working environment in the film industry. Although time has passed, her legacy lives on, a smoldering flame that inspires the next generation of actors who are not afraid to go to the emotional extreme. Sad Eyes and a Rebel Heart. Ingrid Bergman was born in 1915 in Sweden, with a graceful beauty, intelligence, and a cold charm. She came to Hollywood like a different wind, not noisy but full of charm. In Casablanca, 1942, Ingrid's sad eyes when facing Humphrey Bogart became one of the most immortal moments in cinema history, where emotions without dialogue still deeply touched the hearts of the audience. But Ingrid's life was not only in the spotlight. She once shocked America when she left her husband and daughter, went to Italy to follow the call of love with director Roberto Rossellini. That bold action, in an era when women were bound by rigid moral standards, turned Hollywood and the public away. However, Ingrid herself proved, true talent cannot be extinguished. She bounced back, winning 2 more Oscars, and was hailed as one of the greatest actresses of the 20th century. Ingrid was someone who dared to be true to her feelings, breaking the stereotype of the good woman both on screen and in life, putting her heart above social prejudice. She died in 1982, on her birthday, as if closing a brilliant life with a cinematic ending. Ingrid Bergman lives on as a symbol of elegance, courage, and inner freedom. a silent shadow amidst the glamour. Joan Fontaine was born in 1917 in Japan to a family of British descent, bringing with her a refined beauty and a quiet demeanor that was different from the glittering Hollywood. Not choosing a showy style of acting, Joan made her mark with an introspective, secretive, and subtle acting style. Her role in Rebecca, 1940, under the direction of Alfred Hitchcock brought her to the A-list, and just 1 year later, Joan became the only actress to ever win an Oscar for a role in a Hitchcock film. Suspicion, 1941. Despite her success, Joan's life was not without its low points. She and her sister, the actress Olivia de Havilland, were embroiled in a decades-long feud. Both were talented and famous, but chose to live as strangers. That relationship, despite the years that have passed, remains one of Hollywood's most famous sibling tragedies. Joan Fontaine was an icon of quiet elegance, a star who needed no fuss to shine with her depth of soul and rare sophistication. Away from the limelight, Joan chose a simple life in California. She spent her time caring for her pets, writing memoirs, and living far from the hustle and bustle. When she passed away in 2013 at the age of 96, her legacy was not scandal, but her profound acting style and a quiet, self-possessed life, like a candle smoldering amid bright lights. Unyielding eyes. Bette Davis was born in 1908, not possessing the standard beauty of Hollywood at that time, but that difference became an unmistakable attraction. She was the first actress in Oscar history to receive 10 nominations, a testament to her talent that surpassed conventional beauty standards. In All About Eve, 1950, Betty's sharp eyes, cold voice, and uncompromising demeanor made the audience unable to take their eyes off her. She was not afraid to transform into tough, even old, and decrepit women, such as in Whatever Happened to Baby Jane. 1962, the film that revived her career amid the wave of youth worship that was spreading in Hollywood. Bette Davis was the first person to dare to sue Warner Brothers Studios for the right to choose her roles, a bold act that few people dared to do at that time. She fought for creative freedom and paved the way for the next generation of actors. Bette Davis passed away in 1989, but her indomitable spirit lives on. She proved that talent doesn't need a perfect face to shine, all it takes is a telling gaze and an unyielding heart. The phrase Bette Davis eyes is more than just the name of a famous song, it has become a symbol of timeless beauty, strength, and sharpness. The End, a Bell of Nostalgia. 5 lives, 5 fates, 5 shades of femininity, talent, and courage. When the lights go out and the last film closes, what remains is not just the roles, but the qualities of the people. With Barbara, Susan, Ingrid, Joan, and Bette, they are not just stars, but witnesses of an era, of cinema, and of the American dream. If you feel awakened by this journey, please like, share the video, and look forward to the next part, where other legends are waiting to be named.